The devil's work is almost done. I'm not really sure what I am looking for in posting this. Tomorrow is my mediation day and I'm a little numb and restless. I, 43M, have been married to my SDBXW41F. For 19 years together, 25 years. We met in high school. I found out in October, the day before our 19th anniversary. She had at least an EA, but I also believe she also had a PA, but she would not admit it with the current guy. She said they only kissed. Yeah, right. She told me she loved him. He is married with 2 kids. And then she said, I love you, but I am not in love with you. But on the same day, she admitted to a PA's with a different man 12 years ago. The basics to the story is she pretended to try and work it out and eventually asked for a divorce. It's so much more messier than this, and I may tell a whole story someday. I just don't have the energy tonight. She moved out in January and my girls, 10 yo and 15 yo, have lived with her at her parents' house, and my son, 16 yo, lives with me. I see my girls often and try to talk to them every day. My son has become so much closer to me. I love them all so much and I hate that this has happened to them as well. Maybe I'm looking for encouraging words. Wisdom. I have prayed a lot about this and then again maybe not enough. I know she has at least told her family, lies about me, but they also know some of the truth. It's weird to be a part of a family and then all of a sudden you are a stranger. Here is something I wrote to her last night, but I won't send it because I know it would mean nothing to her. The devil's work is almost done. I'm mad/sad that all 3 of our kids are in therapy. I'm mad/sad that you are the other woman. You have destroyed more than our marriage. Our kids are forever changed because of your actions. I worry how this will affect their future relationships. You have destroyed other families and that makes me sick. How and why would you choose to be the other woman? It's disgusting and I know you know it is. Wrong. You are one of the most selfish people I know. You didn't just make a one-time mistake. You choose to do this over and over and ever. After being confronted, you choose evil. That relationship is from the devil. This could hurt your soul. You will never be able to be in a relationship where you are not an adulteress. As far as I know, you are still with your affair partner. You both have started a relationship built on a lie. One of you will cheat on the other, and if not, I'm sure it will be miserable if you have a conscience. I know for a fact that he has already questioned what he has done and tried to go back to his wife. But I say to you that everyone who divorces his wife, except on the ground of sexual immorality, makes her commit adultery, and whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Matthew 5:32. He said to them, because of your hardness of heart Moses allowed you to divorce your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, and marries another, commits adultery. Matthew 19:8-9. You lied for so long, it is hard to tell what was ever true. Is this who you were alone and I didn't know it, or did you change? I do believe you did me a favor forcing the divorce. You made the statement that maybe you don't deserve me. Maybe that is true, but if you didn't force this, I would have kept trying to love you and save our marriage. How do you not feel remorse or shame or guilt? How do you sleep at night knowing what evil you have done? You said at one point you were praying and talking to God, but if there is no change, is there really any sorrow or repentance? I know that is between you and God, but it is one more thing I don't understand. How do you sit in church and not feel guilt or shame? How did you sit with me and our family and not feel shame and guilt? You are not too far gone, you can still be saved. I don't mean we can have a relationship, especially now, but you can repent and return to God. I believe that would mean putting away that selfish person you have become. I have said in the past you are a good mother. I believe I lied to you. A good mother would not have done this to her family. You are a selfish person who just loves herself. Maybe you care about the children, but because of how it makes you look to the world. I know how much you care about your image. As for me, I have tried hating you, but it does no good. I really could have come after you, I mean your career, you always cared about that more. But I decided that time will take care of everything. I don't need to hurt you because you are broken. I'm sure there has to be a lot of pain to do the things you have done. In some ways I pity you. I'm saying my last goodbyes and releasing you. Story 2. My fiancé of 6 years cheated. Me, 23, and my fiancé, 22, have been together since the end of high school. We went to separate colleges in the same state and lived together through most of college. We moved into a townhome together and have been engaged a bit over a year. She has been bringing up concerns about my attentiveness in our relationship. I took an extra year to finish school, and while she started her career, I was super stressed because financially I couldn't afford another semester. After I graduated, I felt relieved. I felt like I was ready to be 100% in my relationship and to be an adult. But it was too late. She later had a conversation with me that she needed some space, and after a tear-filled week I was okay with that. We still lived together and shared a bed and would still have normal conversations, but intimacy was gone for about a month. I'm mad/sad that you are the other woman. You have destroyed more than our marriage. Our kids are forever changed because of your actions. I worry how this will affect their future relationships. You have destroyed other families, and that makes me sick. How and why would you choose to be the other woman? It's disgusting, and I know it is wrong. You are one of the most selfish people I know. You didn't just make a one-time mistake. You choose to do this over and over and ever. After being confronted, you choose evil. Come September, we start having more conversations and begin to be intimate again, going on dates, etc. She brought up over dinner one night that she had always carried her ring and that she never leaves it anywhere. At this point, everything feels like it's getting better. During this time, she would have a friend over, a very good friend of mine from middle/high school, who would drink with her and watch anime all weekend. Yesterday she leaves work early, a crying mess, and as I try to calm her down, she tells me that they slept together. She tells me that she felt so guilty, and that she shouldn't have done it, and it was a drunk mistake. She tells me that I should hate her, and it's okay if I hate her. She says that after she did it she felt sick, and that she realized she will always love me. After she calmed down and we talked, she mentioned that she doesn't know where we are in our relationship, and that she still has feelings for him, but loves me. She doesn't know how to lose feelings for him or what to do now. Help me, Reddit. I don't know what to do. Now look at some opinion. You leave her. She's told you she slept with him and has feelings for him. That's all the information you need to proceed. Everything else is fluff and filler. But I love you is nonsense. Inform her that she's obviously confused about what love is. She failed the wife test spectacularly, so get your ring back from her. And listen here, you don't get feelings after a drunken mistake. Gain clarity of mind. Process this and begin planning your exit immediately. You're going to be emotional. That's natural, just don't let her see it. Being emotional opens you up to manipulation, which she is already attempting. Now look at story 3. We want to go and see with my in-laws because of the relationship they have with the woman who tried to ruin our relationship. So, I'm 22 years old and engaged to my gorgeous fiancé, 23 years old, whom I've been with for 3 years. We had been friends since kindergarten, but I went out of state for a few years as a youngster and returned to my hometown when I was 15 years old. Then I reunited with him, and we've been friends ever since, eventually dating. The rest is history. So of course, during the time I was gone, my fiancé acquired new pals. He became very close to that girl. Let's call her Lily, 22F. They'd visit one another's homes a lot when they were teenagers, their families got along, and so on. My MIL and BIL mistook my fiancé and Lily for a couple, although they were only friends. Lily is also the twin sister of my fiancé's closest friend, which complicates matters further. Long story short, my in-laws were shipping Lily and my fiancé. Then I returned, became very close to my fiancé, and once we began dating, my in-laws welcomed me with open arms, but they were always sure to mention Lily's name and make comments about her perhaps meeting my fiancé at some time. I ignored it at first, until Lily began acting jealously towards my fiancé, wanting exclusive treatment over me. She even attempted to accuse me of cheating on my fiancé because she spotted me with a guy on the street. That guy was my 17-year-old brother. I was 21 at the time. My fiancé had had enough of her and went NC with her, and her brother was upset with him and cut him off for a few months, but they subsequently reunited and are now best friends again without his sis being involved. My in-laws were not pleased with the news that my fiancé was going ahead with Lily. They repeatedly attempted to guilt-trip my fiancé into reuniting with her, telling him he was bad for trashing their relationship and so on. We subsequently discovered that my in-laws continue to have covert meetings with Lily, and my fiancé discovered them. They said Lily had done nothing wrong, and that we should give her another opportunity since she has no negative intentions. They effectively blamed me for attempting to damage their connection, and in the process, destroying my fiancé's and his best friend's friendship. They believe we're overreacting, and that it's not as terrible as we made it out to be. They also argue that even if Lily wounded my fiancé, they love her and don't want her to feel bad, and that they prefer my fiancé be uncomfortable with their interactions and friendships than have bad blood with Lily. They also attempted to be civilized with me, explaining their point of view, but while doing so, they stated that they wished Lily was in my place, but they still love me a lot. We're going to go NC with them, removing the poison and manipulation from our life. But how can we approach this without feeling as though we're in the wrong? Now look at some opinion. You must advocate for oneself in this situation. She didn't seek for your permission to attend because she felt since the court had already approved it, she could push you into consenting. That is not the way to treat a buddy. She's all over you and she hasn't even here yet. If you let her remain with you, she will continue to walk all over you. She doesn't care about the terms of your lease or the implications of allowing her to remain. It is up to you to make the rules. Help her find a place to stay, but keep in mind that it is not your responsibility. If she can't find a location, it doesn't imply she can rely on you. She's in this situation as a result of a sequence of decisions she's made. You are not to blame for any of this. You'll get evicted if you welcome visitors, and that's not a risk you're willing to take. If she continues to put you under pressure, you know she's simply trying to take advantage of you. Personally, I'd be cautious to even allow her to come to my flat during the day. You don't want her dropping off the baby or coming there and attempting to remain. You are completely correct. When she went to court, the idea was FL, but she walked out stating my state, and I was very taken aback. I couldn't respond quickly enough, and she took advantage of me. She also smokes, which is prohibited under the lease whether done indoors or in the breezeways. I reside on the top floor, and everyone in my building has doorbell cameras. It's just a matter of time until they discover she's leaving the house 15 times every day. And who will babysit the baby when she smokes? It's simply a load of nonsense I don't want to deal with. Because I'm trying to avoid controversy, I'm going to lie on Monday and claim I got in trouble for having my boyfriend here too often and I can't take the chance of moving someone in. I'm sure she'll throw a fuss. I'm not going to phone her. Instead, I'm going to text her, which is also how she pressed me. She summoned me and placed me on the spot. Texting allows you to plan out your answer, but phone conversations are more difficult for me, and I'm simply going to switch off my phone if necessary. I have a sense she won't accept my assistance in looking for other locations for whatever reason, and if that's the case, fine. I was chatting to my boyfriend when I realized that if I had to pick between my hard-earned apartment and a friendship, I would choose the apartment.